Listen, when she goes quiet, your first instinct is to panic. You want to text more, call more, ask what's wrong, fix whatever you think you broke. But here's what most men don't understand. Her silence isn't a cry for help, it's not a test, and it's definitely not an invitation to chase harder. When a woman pulls away in silence, she's telling you something without saying a word. And if you miss what she's really communicating, you'll push her further away while thinking you're pulling her closer. I'm going to break down exactly what's happening in her mind when she goes silent, why it's happening, and the only moves that actually work when you're standing in this moment. Because once you understand this, you'll stop making the mistakes that turn her silence into permanent distance, and you'll start responding in a way that either brings her back or sets you free to move forward. This isn't about tricks or mind games. This is about reading the situation correctly. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly what her silence means and what you should do next. So let's start with the hard truth. What her silence is really telling you. The brutal reality. What the brutal reality. What her silence actually means, her silence actually means. Picture this. The texts that used to come easily have stopped. She's not initiating anymore. When you reach out, you get short replies or nothing at all. The energy is gone. The warmth has disappeared, and you're sitting there wondering what changed. Here's what you need to understand. When a woman pulls away in silence, she's already made a decision, not necessarily about ending things, but about needing space to figure out what she actually wants. And here's the part that stings. Her silence means she doesn't trust that talking to you right now will help. Either she thinks you won't understand, or she's not ready to face the conversation, or she's already emotionally checking out. Let me be clear about something. Women don't go silent out of nowhere. There were signs, small moments where she felt unheard, times when her needs weren't met, patterns that built up over weeks or months. And now she's done explaining. She's done hoping you'll notice. She's done carrying the emotional labor of the relationship. So she goes quiet, not to punish you, not to play games, but because in her mind, words haven't worked. And silence is her last form of self-protection. Here's what's happening in her head. She's asking herself questions. Is this what I want? Does he actually see me? Am I settling? Can this change, or am I wasting my time? And while she's in that space, your presence feels like pressure. Every text feels like a demand for her energy. Every call feels like you want something she can't give right now. That's why chasing doesn't work, because you're not giving her what she actually needs. Space to think, space to feel, space to miss you, if that's even possible anymore. And here's the twist. Most men never see coming. Sometimes her silence has nothing to do with you. She's processing something in her own life. Stress, trauma, overwhelm, and she's retreated inward because that's how she copes. But whether it's about you or not, your response matters, because what you do next will either prove her right about needing distance or show her something different. So if chasing pushes her away, what actually brings her back? That's where the real understanding begins. What to do when she goes silent. The only moves that work when she pulls away work. Before we go deeper, just do one thing for me. Hit the like button if this is already making sense. What's coming next will show you exactly how to handle this. Let's keep going. Here's the first move, and it's the hardest. 1. Stop chasing. I don't mean ghost her. I don't mean play games. I mean genuinely give her the space she's asking for without saying a word. No more double texts. No more "are you okay" messages. No more showing up to fix something she hasn't asked you to fix. This takes strength, because your instinct is screaming at you to do something. But the most powerful thing you can do right now is nothing. Here's why. When you stop chasing, you stop confirming her fear that you don't understand boundaries. You stop being another source of pressure, and you create room for her to actually miss you. But here's the key. This isn't about waiting around like a lost puppy while she's silent. You need to be living. Hit the gym, reconnect with friends, work on your goals, build something, create, move forward, because one of two things will happen. Either she'll come back and see that you're not falling apart without her, which is attractive, or she won't come back, and you'll realize you don't need someone who can't communicate. Now, let's talk about the waiting period. How long do you give? How long should you wait? Her? There's no perfect answer, but here's a guideline. 1 to 3 weeks of true space. No contact, no checking her stories, no indirect communication through mutual friends. If she reaches out during that time, respond with calm energy, not cold, not overly eager, just steady, match her tone. Don't unload, don't demand answers, just acknowledge her and keep it light. If she doesn't reach out and you decide to break the silence, do it once. Send one message that's clear, respectful, and gives her an easy out. Something like, "Hey, I've been giving you space because I sensed you needed it. I'm here if you want to talk, but I also respect whatever you're feeling. No pressure." Then you wait for her response. If she engages, great. If she doesn't, you have your answer. Here's what most men get wrong. They think silence means she wants to be convinced. She doesn't. She wants to be understood. And understanding means respecting her need for distance, even when it's uncomfortable for you. But let's address the elephant in the room. What if her silence means it's over? What if her silence means it's over? What if she's already moved on and just doesn't have the guts to tell you? Then you move on too. Not bitterly, not with resentment, but with the self-respect to know that someone who can't communicate their needs clearly isn't the right person for you anyway. Because here's the ultimate truth. You can't force someone to choose you. You can't logic someone into feeling something they don't feel. And you can't love someone into loving you back. All you can do is show up as your best self, give them space when they need it, and be willing to walk away when silence becomes disrespect. What I want you to do first, smash that like button right now, not later, right now, because that tells YouTube to show this to more men who need to hear it. And trust me, there are thousands of guys sitting in confusion right now who need this message. Second, drop a comment and tell me where you're at. Use one of these words so I know. Type respect if you're committing to giving her space and focusing on yourself. Type moving on if you've realised it's time to let go and level up. Type confused if you're still not sure what to do and need more guidance. Type been there if you've been through this and came out stronger on the other side. Don't just watch and disappear. Engage. Because when you comment, you're not just helping the algorithm. You're holding yourself accountable to actually applying this. Third, subscribe and turn on notifications because I'm dropping content every week that most men will never admit they need. Relationship. Your silence ends now. Psychology, attraction dynamics, self-improvement strategies that actually work, the kind of knowledge that separates you from the 90% of guys who are still out here chasing women who don't want them. And if you know a friend who's going through this right now, a guy who's sitting in his room staring at his phone, waiting for her to text back, send him this video. Because sometimes the best thing you can do for a brother is show him the truth he's not seeing. Your silence ends now. Comment below, hit subscribe, and let's build a community of men who refuse to lose themselves over someone who's not sure about them. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.